Hello. Good afternoon. Here's what we're doing today. Are you guys sick of seeing this challenge? Let's see. Let me make sure everything's in view. I think everything looks good. Okay. Oops. Hi, Tamara. Welcome. I drew Sailor Jupiter a month ago. Oh, cool. I love Sailor Jupiter. Sailor Jupiter and Sailor Mars. Actually, Sailor Mars is my favorite. Sailor Jupiter is like a really close second. This was a fun challenge. I'm glad that like this kind of thing is going around right now. I know I've seen people do Ghibli redraws now too, which is great. I am thinking too that I might want to turn this into a traditional drawing too. So I'm going to be doing the sketch digitally, but then I might clean it up, print it out onto a piece of multimedia paper, and color this using Posca pens. I feel like my favorite Sailor Scout has been like it evolves over time. Like when I was first watching the show, I feel like Sailor Venus was my favorite, and then like the older I got, the more I really appreciated how feisty Sailor Mars could be, and I loved her even more. Also, I keep talking like I'm using my face camera on my laptop, and I'm not. I'm using this one, so it's a little hard for me to get used to. Yeah, I'm gonna try and like point it down and remember to look at it. But if I forget, I'm sorry. Hi, Anna. Welcome back to another stream. It's good to see you guys. We are just sketching away. Nothing too exciting yet. But I was just telling Tamara that I think we're going to color this traditionally. We're sketching it digitally, but coloring traditionally. At least that's my plan right now. Let's see. I want to make sure that her tiara is centered. So I guess I can do that next. I struggle with Posca pens. Thank you. I've been really loving Posca pens for my artwork. It's just a totally different change up in style that I love. Yeah, it's the biggest thing that I hear with Posca pens is that people have a hard time finding a paper that works with them. And I have to say, I kind of have the same struggle. Like, the paper I'm planning to use today, I haven't fully decided what paper I'm using, but the paper I think I'm going to use is likely going to get a little torn up, and that's just kind of part of working with Posca pens, you know? I feel like I don't want to give her too big of a forehead here. And also keeping in mind that I am going to be coloring this with Posca pens, I don't want to go too ham on all the details. I actually want the lines to be suited for something that's going to look kind of bold when we're done. What's your favorite digital art program if you use multiple? I would say for art specifically, I prefer Procreate. It's just the thing I'm most comfortable with, and I think a big part of that is the fact that I use it with the iPad and the Apple Pencil. If I was doing it on like a touch tablet, I might prefer Photoshop, just because you have a wider spectrum of like things that you can do. And I have Photoshop and I use Photoshop for certain things. The number one thing I always feel like I can't do in Procreate, but I can do in Photoshop is like adding strokes and drop shadows to things like text. Like I would love to be able to do all of my video thumbnails in Procreate. I don't have access to a few of the tools that I do in Photoshop, and that's why I still use Photoshop. And it's good for lots of other things as well, but for the most part, I think I prefer Procreate for art specifically, if that makes sense. Hi Myra, it's so good to see you. Thanks for coming to this stream. I have tried vellum paper. It's been a really long time, and I feel like I liked it, and I definitely used it with markers. I've not used it with things like Posca pens, and I actually wonder, now that you say that, if vellum would get torn up, because I feel like it wouldn't. Might be kind of worth trying. I don't think I have any vellum right now. I used to have a lot of it. I'm not sure if I used it up, or I don't know, somehow it got torn up or thrown out. I'm not sure. Let's see. Hope everyone is okay. Yeah, I think everyone is. Well, I can speak for myself. I'm doing pretty good. Hanging in there. Surviving quarantine. So where I might be doing like more detailed shapes and lines, I'm trying to keep it pretty simple actually, because again, my goal is to color this with Posca pens. I like how you styled her face and the lashes. Thank you. Yeah, I like the whole thing, with this challenge, is to draw Sailor Moon kind of in your style. And as I've talked about in a recent video, my art style is like all over the board sometimes. So I think I just wanted this to look different, and one of the things that I've been doing pretty consistently with my art is these eyes with like these bold lashes, and I like that. I'm gonna give her some baby bottom lashes too. I feel like I've dabbled a little bit in monochromatic art pieces. I actually posted one of my favorite ones that I've ever done on my Instagram not too long ago. And that was this one here that I did for Mermaid in 2018. Yeah, I think it was 2018, or it was like around that time. Yeah, having a set art style is like just, I think, a myth. I know some people do, but I always wonder, like, is that just the art that they post, and like maybe they do different stuff kind of behind the scenes that they just don't show? Because I actually think it's really hard to have one consistent art style all the time. Like, I'd imagine it would just kind of get boring after a while. You're doing the same thing. Okay. I am just like, one thing that's also kind of changed for me recently is I feel like I'm much slower with my art. I think historically I've always been kind of like fast when it comes to drawing. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of subjective, I guess. Will not let me. Yeah, I have that problem. I'm not officially doing Mermaid. I had wanted to do like at least a couple of illustrations to participate. At this point, I don't even know if that's gonna happen. We are almost through May, but maybe I'll get like at least one done. That would be my goal. Just because I do love it, and I love seeing everyone participate in it. Have I tried pop surrealism? I can't say that I have. I don't even know if I would know what pop surrealism is. Let's just enjoy art and do whatever we want, right? Yeah, that's exactly. So that was like the whole message behind my recent video, was like, we get so hung up on having an art style that like if we don't have that, we kind of feel like invalidated from participating in the art community online. It's like, well, I don't have a style yet, or we're all kind of in search of that, and it's hindered me. I can only imagine how many other artists kind of feel the same way, that it's like it's hindered them from pursuing something, and that shouldn't be the case. Trying not to have any of these tangential lines. Google Simpkins. Okay. I will do that. I've never heard of Simpkins before. Let's go ahead. I'm curious. I'm just like, I want to know what kind of look this guy's got. Simpkins art. Image. Ooh. I've definitely not tried pop surrealism. Very cool. Okay, I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking at. Wow, his paintings are selling for a lot of money. Hopefully that's in focus. That is crazy cool. Really cool. Yeah, I can't say that I've ever really done anything in that style before, which it's very beautiful. Let's see. Her buns are so round. Like they're just perfect circles, basically. Let's see. Hi, Joyce. Welcome. Been one of my inspirations. I can see why. He's got a really unique style. Also, I have my lunch here that I've not finished. Anybody else do that? You just like leave food laying around and then forget about it? I do it all the time. Same thing with my coffee from this morning. Still have coffee from this morning. So I want to keep in mind this like very top part is going to be cropped out because I want it to align with the screen cap. Oh, it's okay, Myra. Thanks for letting us know. Sometimes my internet connection does that too. It's weird. What am I having for lunch? It is quinoa and chicken. Working on bodybuilding. Ooh, very cool. So I'm not going to really draw the parts that like are going to be cropped out. Like I said, like it just doesn't, like, why bother? And I like loosely, like, just to kind of give you guys a peek into the process of this very early on, I actually just screen capped to the whole canvas and like loosely sketched over where the key components were, like where the braids or where her like pigtails landed, where her like key facial features were, just so that like then when I drew over it in my style, things would more or less line up. Not perfectly, but like I said, you know, just to kind of get the basic placement, which is why I wanted to do this digitally, just to have that flexibility. Thank you. Yeah, it's been pretty good. We had this for dinner last night too, and we just haven't been cooking as much. So, leftovers are great. It would be cool in neon bright colors. That'd be really, really cool. Yeah, that'd be neat. I don't think I'm going to have the ability to do that with my Posca pens, just because of the limited colors that I have. I'm gonna give like a little impression of her other bun being here, even though it might be cropped out. Yeah, I'm planning on inking it in my Pentel Pocket brush pen just because that's like my favorite brush pen ever. And especially when I work with Posca pens, I just find that it's a really nice contrast. Like they pair really well together. I'm keeping the hair simple too, which is another thing that I really only do if I'm coloring in Posca. Just because otherwise I really like to go ham on the details with the hair, but we have to restrain ourselves just a little bit. Hi Carol, welcome. Do I have DeviantArt? Not anymore. I used to. I think I started my DeviantArt in like 2008, and then I finally like deleted it sometime last year or maybe in 2018. It's been a little while. Let's see. So I'm not on DeviantArt anymore, but I used to be. The very first place I ever started posting my art was on DeviantArt. So my next dream acquisition is an iPad Pro. I don't know if you already answered this question, but does it make your workflow easier? So actually, I don't have a Pro. I have an Air. So it's an iPad Air. It's, gosh, I don't even know. I think it's like the iPad Air 3, maybe. I don't know why the number 3 is like coming to my memory when I remember like buying this. It was significantly cheaper than the iPad Pro, which was the reason I got it. I knew I had an iPad previously that was really old. I got it like my freshman year of college, so like 2012, 2013. And I couldn't use the Apple Pencil with it. And I knew I wanted the ability to use the Apple Pencil so that I could really dive in and do digital art. But I couldn't justify getting the Pro because I didn't even know how often I would be utilizing the iPad. In hindsight, I think I probably could have invested, but I certainly didn't need to. So, iPad Air, highly recommend it. I think the biggest complaint is like it's not as durable as like the iPad Pro. It's not as big. It's not going to have as much like processing power, I guess, but I'm telling you from my experience, it works just fine. I don't know if it's the Pro, but the Apple Pen and Procreate combo, I mean. Yes, highly recommend the Apple Pencil. It is a serious game changer. I think it's really the only thing that's gotten me to love digital art. I've dabbled in digital art in the past, but just never fallen head over heels in love with it until I got the Apple Pencil. And now I can pretty confidently say that I love sketching and drawing digitally. Hi, Shell. Welcome. Oh, the DeviantArt days. I still have mine, but I haven't posted on it in years. That's kind of how I was. I fell in and out of it for a while and then eventually just decided, you know, if I'm going to have this account, just you know, there, but I'm not checking on it. I'm just kind of leaving it vulnerable to art theft and things like that. And so I just decided to get rid of it. Yeah, I got a Huion tablet. I actually have it right here. It's just collecting dust on this shelf. This is a Huion professional drawing tablet, and I can't remember which one this is. This is the H610 Pro pen tablet. And it was good, but it was never going to be as natural as drawing on a screen that I could see. And at the time, I didn't have the money to invest in a screen tablet like a Wacom or even one of the higher end Huion ones. So that really kind of hindered my drive to use it. Like, I just never used it. So yes, I think if I had known then what I know now, I would have just gotten an iPad, but it would have been a few generations older than this one, so I guess everything works out. Oh, cool. Yeah, so the iPad Air is great, and you can use the Apple Pencil with it, and it's significantly cheaper than the iPad Pro, which is why I think it's awesome. I'm literally filming this video. Cool. The same type of video. Very cool. My 4-year-old uses my Wacom more than I do at this point. That's great. You know, if it gets your 4-year-old into art, even better. Well, iPad dreaming of a new one. My old one doesn't even update anymore. Yeah, so my old one, the biggest things that I didn't like about my old iPad is that I couldn't use the Apple Pencil and I couldn't screen record. So this was really just what got me to like the next level of incorporating digital art into my content. And with this, I've created GIFs, I've created all sorts of like text, I don't know, like informational stuff. Like I take notes on this. I do so many things on this, and I love it. You cannot replace this in my mind. It's pretty much near perfect. Who are my biggest inspirations? Ooh, I would say off the top of my head, Babs Tarr has been a huge inspiration to me in the past few years. She did the most recent design, and then she kind of came out with her own stuff from there. Love her art. Gabriel Piccolo is another one that's been really inspiring to me recently. Love his Teen Titan redraws. So cool. Love him. Those are two that I can think of like in the art social media world that are really big. Beyond that, I would say Adam Hughes is another really big inspiration of mine. He was really big when I was on DeviantArt. I got to see him at San Diego Comic-Con. I got one of his like art books there. He's amazing. I mean, I have a lot of art inspirations. Like, the internet in general inspires me. Let's see, I feel like I should change my PFP to one of my artworks. Do you agree? PFP, I have no idea what that stands for. I'm like drawing a blank. Good to know. I'm gonna look into the iPad Air and keep dreaming about the Pro until this crisis ends. I know. Ugh, I didn't upgrade my iPad until my laptop died, and I was already like in the Apple store, and I was already like, well, we're biting a bullet. We might as well bite down hard. And that's when I upgraded. So I've had this for about a year, and believe me, I've gotten use out of it. Dreams come true. Yes. Oh, profile picture. I don't know why I couldn't think. Yeah, I think you should. I think if there's an art piece that you've done that you really like, and you feel like kind of captures your vibe for your channel, then you should definitely do that. I think what's extra cool is if you can do like a self-portrait or something. I know that was like my icon for the longest time. It was like a little self-portrait that I did. So it's me, but it's also my art kind of in one. Especially because like text in a profile picture is a little hard to read. You know, I haven't built a portfolio on Pinterest. I've maybe only shared like one or two things over there. And it's like few and far between. It's been years too, so I really haven't utilized Pinterest very much. But it's cool that you've built your portfolio on there, especially for references. Yeah, I've definitely used Pinterest for like references or just like general inspiration, like color palette inspiration. I've used it a lot. Things like that. See, it kind of has like a fold here that it does. I think that looks right, close enough. I will definitely do that. My favorite one is cloud aesthetic purple art with a girl. I thought it would match my channel banner and stuff. Yeah, I think that's perfect. Mine is Sailor Mars too. And hi, Carol, welcome. Yes, Sailor Mars is hands down my favorite. In fact, I was just talking to Tamara. I feel like I've asked you this before. I've been saying Tamara. I hope that's correct. If not, please correct me. I was telling her like how when I was younger, my favorite Sailor Scout was definitely Sailor Venus because she was just like cute and bubbly. But as I got older, I really loved how feisty Ray was, and now I feel like Ray is my favorite. Sailor Jupiter is a really close second, and then it might be like Sailor Venus, and then Usagi, who I feel like maybe as a person I am most similar to, but I wish I was more like Sailor Mars. I wish I could just be a little bit more badass. Okay, guys. God, I feel like I'm just being so slow. Hey guys, so wonderful. I found you. Yeah, I'm happy that you could join in. What is something that intimidates you in art but you want to try? Ooh, okay, good. Thank you. That's a really good question. Something that intimidates me. Probably getting more into like acrylics or even just like larger scale paintings in general. I've always tended to work very small. Like for me, a big illustration is like 11 by 14. I think the largest I've ever worked is probably 11 by 14, 11 by 17, somewhere around there. And that was for like the Zodiac illustrations, but that was a medium I was very familiar with. So, like, it's a little tough to draw big for me. And something I'd love to try. I think just getting more comfortable with like painting in general and doing more like story artwork, like something that tells a very clear story with multiple characters and backgrounds and all of these contextual elements. Drawing architecture is also really intimidating for me. Very scary. Try to be a badass, but it's hard when you're 5 feet tall. Yeah, I'm only 5'3", 5'3.5", if we're being very particular. But yeah, I don't think I could be badass if I tried. Even if I like really tried. Okay, so I just have her sleeves left. That's not too bad. I always loved the Sailor Moon sleeves, like the poofy cap sleeve and things. I loved them. Let's see. I use acrylic paints. I found sheetrock. Ooh, yeah. A cheap and smooth surface. Wow, that is a really creative idea. I never would have thought to do that. That is really smart though. So you have like no issues doing acrylic on like a bigger canvas. I need to charge my laptop, guys. I forgot it. It's like at 18%. Let's plug this in. I don't want my computer to die in the middle of a live stream, right? Oh, Usagi, so much prettier in your art style. You're so sweet. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I don't even know what to say. I'm like, is she? Oh my gosh, that is so smart. How resourceful. Okay, I think we've got to kind of cut into the side of her head here just a little for her ponytail to fit. Although, you know, I kind of feel like it makes more sense coming out of the back of her bun than the front. Yeah, I feel like that's such a smart idea to paint on something like sheetrock. I never would have thought of that. Anyone here have an Insta or YouTube channel they want to be supported? I love the idea of supporting small channels. Just as a general rule, it's always a good idea to ask permission from the person streaming first, which I am totally okay with. Go for it. But in the future, it's always good to ask for like any streamer. I gotta go, but I hope to talk to you again in the future. When I was talking about art with someone who does. Aww, well, thank you so much for coming tomorrow. I really do appreciate it, and it's always great to talk to you. I know you've come to the streams in the past before too, so it's great to see you again. And hopefully I'll be streaming more soon. Oh, thank you. You guys are so sweet. Oh, okay. Well, great. Happy to have you stay. Bye, Anna. Thank you so much for coming. always great chatting with everyone. I know. Thank you guys for coming to the stream and hanging out so regularly. You guys are the best. Okay, guys, I think we're like pretty close to being done. Okay, I'm going to hide those, and we're just gonna have this kind of fill up the page a little bit. That looks good. Should make it probably a little smaller. And then I can just finish drawing her little bun circle. Honestly, let's see. The other reason I love sketching digitally is because I can just tweak little things like shape and that so easily. It's great. Okay, so that kind of takes care of that. I was gonna like clean it up a little bit more, but honestly it's pretty clean to begin with. The only thing I might fix is like the tiara is not super clean. So I'm gonna just clean that up a little bit. God, this like moon crescent tiara is a thing I'm having the hardest time with, oddly enough. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna lift it out just a little. Okay, looks pretty good. You know, I've done that before. It's been a really long time. I don't even know if I would have a picture of it, to be honest. Maybe it's on my Instagram. Should we dig through? Should we look? Should I Instagram stalk myself? I don't know. Maybe I got rid of it. We're gonna see. We're gonna try it. Probably like 2017, maybe. It was definitely before we moved to California. Which we've already been here 3 years, which is so crazy to me. Okay, this was like right around when we moved. It was like for a birthday stream that I did. Which means... I know it was like on this stream where I did this illustration. which is also coincidentally around the same time that I did this whole Sailor Moon series. So, okay. Sailor Sketches, I don't do like shout outs and stuff in the stream unless people ask. I do appreciate you asking, but I'm not going to do it right now. I am trying to find this illustration. It might be, let me go, I have an old sketchbook somewhere. I'm going to go try and find it so we can show the stream because it's really cool. It is in one of these. This one's kind of older, so I don't know, or more recent. No, this is all Zodiac stuff, though. Good flashback. 2017. Let's see. Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you for coming, Sweet Sailor Sketches. I do appreciate it. And I'm sure we'll see you in future streams. Let's see. So, I found this illustration, which means I think we're close. Look at that. Sailor Sun. I think this was a prompt from the live stream to do, like, it was part of a birthday stream that I did, and they asked me the very same question: you should design your own Sailor Scout, and so I did. I could probably stand to redraw her because this is a super messy sketch, but yeah, God, some good times were had in these sketchbooks. Have you ever felt stuck in social media? I mean, it's been years since I've posted art regularly on Instagram. I have lots of pieces ready, but can't bring myself to post it. I would say I feel like that most days, most days about social media. It's hard to do. It's hard, like, social media for me is like really to like fully get into to the extent that I feel is necessary to truly thrive on there, which can be really defeating. Realistically, cannot post twice a day. I can't even commit to posting an Instagram story every day. So I'm wildly inconsistent on there, and that usually means that my overall engagement is just not as high. You were determined. I was determined. I knew I had it somewhere. And it's fun to kind of flip through old sketchbooks sometimes, so like maybe we can do that like later on in the stream. Because I will be switching the stream setup a little bit in a moment to once we like print this out and everything, which I think we're like kind of ready to do, oddly enough. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get rid of the background, and I'm just gonna share this as a PNG to my computer. Just gonna airdrop it, which is another thing I love about having the iPad and the MacBook Pro. Easy to just kind of flip back and forth. I used to email everything to myself, which was so annoying and difficult. Now we can go ahead and move my camera setup around. It's gonna get a little jumpy. I hope nobody gets motion sickness, because we're gonna switch things up a little. I have a Pinterest, and that's the extent of social media. I don't even have a cell phone either. Well, Pinterest is a good platform. If that's all you have, I think it's good enough. Oh my gosh, guys, sorry. I need more cable to make this work. Let me go to my OBS and make sure. I think that'll work. I'm gonna switch everything up, so bear with me for just a sec. It's a little crooked. Is that worse? Better? Ooh. I think it's gonna have to be close enough, guys. Close enough. Okay, so I'm gonna hide this. I'm gonna bring this right here. And then we're gonna bring this face camera back. Hello. This face camera is much lower quality, but it'll work, at least for our purposes. Okay, so the Logitech camera does this really annoying thing. There we go. That'll work. It like crops the sides until I like manually reset it into place. God, the face camera is so yellow. I don't know what that's about. Yeah, okay. I think we're good enough. Okay, let's see. Yeah, oh, you're definitely not alone, Myra. It's social media is really tough. I feel like I could talk about it all day long. Like, my feelings moment to moment on social media change so rapidly. There's a constant pressure to be on social media, to be active on there, to be posting new things all the time, and it's just not realistic. Like, every time I try and do it, I feel defeated. You know, it's never a good feeling. So I don't like putting that pressure on myself mostly. You know, actually, I'm gonna charge my earbuds with that while that's plugged in. Might as well. Now we're gonna print this on some paper. I'm wondering, I know I like crammed some paper in here that I could probably use. This is the Strathmore 400 series mixed media paper. Really great. Love this stuff. I have not used this printer in a while, so it's probably going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt when we try and print this. We can make it work though. Okay, this is my bad. I think it's back on. Okay, hopefully. Sorry, my internet dropped for a split second. And we are back on, I think. Tamara, to answer your question, I have never tried traditional flash. I have designed a couple of tattoos for like friends and coworkers and stuff. Like, I've dabbled in it just a little bit, not very much. But it's, you know, it's always something fun that I enjoy doing when somebody in my life like asks me to do that. I'm always honored. I can't say yes to like every person that's like, design me a tattoo, because half the time it's just out of my jurisdiction, you know. They're like, draw me a realistic portrait of my, you know, beloved child, and I'm like, I don't think I can do that. I'm not, you know, I don't specialize in that, I should say. So I've dabbled a little in tattoo design, not a whole lot, but a little, and I've enjoyed the times where I've done it. Okay, let me get my Posca pens out. Might be a good place to start. Let me also track down my Pentel pocket brush. Are you guys able to see me back to normal now? Is it back? Is the stream back? Say hi in the chat if it's working. Let's see. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna refresh this. Okay, I think we're okay. Okay, good. I just had to refresh the page for some reason. It was kind of stuck. Yeah, sorry about that. Slight hiccup. Let's print out our line art. You're not really gonna be able to see this process because it's gonna be just me pulling this up on my desktop and printing it in Photoshop, basically, which is another great thing I love about having Photoshop. Okay, good. You're back. We're back on. And we're live. Okay, we're gonna open this. How big is this paper? I want to say it's like 6 by 8. 6.5 by 8.5, maybe. 6 by 8. Okay. That's important information to know. I'm gonna just shrink this a little so that it's not interfering with any borders. I do have a borderless printer, but it's like borderless, not really that helpful. Custom sizes. I'm gonna add one that is 8 inches by 6 inches and no margins. The other thing, I should decrease the opacity of this. I always do that. I don't need to do it as much because this Posca pens are pretty opaque. Sorry, I'll like catch up on like the chat and everything in just a second. That looks good enough, I think. Print. So it might crop it a little. We'll see. Come on, printer. Do your thing. Is it going? Maybe. Well. Ooh. Sorry, I just hiccuped. It sounded really weird. It's thinking. It's usually not a good sign. Maybe. Maybe. The suspense. The sheer suspense. Is it going or no? It's really having to thank you guys. I think it's having to like warm up. That's the thing with inkjet printers, man. You can't just like leave them sitting there for any amount of time. No, man, I like keep thinking it's gonna go. And then it doesn't. There it went. There it went. We finally have progress. That's like the longest it's ever warmed up for. My printer is just fine quarantining from me, is what I'm learning. Let's see how the color looks, though. Usually that's the laughable part. It's like I'll tell it to print in gray and it'll print like blue or pink. We'll see. It's moving slow. It's pink. It's definitely pink. I called it. Wow. That means before I print anything that's actually important, I will have to do like 5 head cleanings and nozzle checks, and this printer is the most high maintenance thing I've ever owned. Ever. Did it even? Oh my gosh. Ugh, and we're gonna have to reprint it. Here's what's happening, guys. Here's what is happening. I'm just gonna flip it over and print on the other side. All of that suspense for no reason. Okay, I think I messed up a little. Print settings. Let's go. Okay, yeah, print settings. How did I get to custom sizes? Okay, here we go. 6 by 8. Okay. And then I have to switch it to landscape instead of portrait. Let's try that again. Actually, you know, I think what the plus side was is that I actually printed on the wrong side of the paper anyway. One side has a little bit more texture than the other. Okay. Round 2. Trying again. Okay, and it's printing much faster this time. I'm betting it's still gonna be pink, just because I haven't adjusted like any of the print nozzle settings or done any cleanings, which I'm not in the mood to do today. This printer is just the worst. Okay, I think it's gonna print correctly this time. Das gut. Still haven't finished my lunch, guys. So bad. They're now cold. Almost there. Literally so close. It's just taking forever. Okay. We're there. We made it. It was a long road, but we made it. Mango smoothie. I don't know what morning powder is. But a mango smoothie. Oh, moringa. I've never had moringa powder. Mango smoothie sounds good though. Okay guys, we made it. I'm not gonna ink it first. I'm gonna pull up my Posca pen swatch page. Yeah, that's in here. I'm just gonna kind of prop it up on my desk somewhere that I can loosely refer to it. And actually, what we can kind of do is test some colors. Because the reason I wanted to use Posca's is because it's a very limited color palette. And I really love that. These are so similar, but I remember one is slightly lighter, one is slightly darker. So we're going to start with this for the skin tone. And then we'll use the second one to shade. Here we go, guys. And I'll leave some indication for the like line work later so that I can just kind of go back and add that in. I don't think I've ever used Posca's on this paper before. So I'll also kind of get a sense of how they perform on here, which I think will be really good. And I only have one size of Posca pen, so that's part of the reason I was so focused on not having too many details. It's like kale, but it's supposed to be better for you. It tastes like dirt. I do not suggest it. Good to know. I will avoid it. I can only do skin tones with watercolor. I love painting skin with watercolor. I also really like coloring skin with Copics, but I think that comes down to like it just being what I'm most comfortable with, and less so about like how they actually perform, because I think they perform, you know, about the same as every other medium I've tried, with like, you know, mainly watercolor. Like I think I can kind of do more or less the same things. I'm just more comfortable with markers. Now Posca's, I'm a little severely limited on the skin tones that I have in Posca pens. I knew I would have pretty much all the colors that I need for this purpose, but again, I'm using a very simple color palette, which I should also have the reference photo pulled up, you know? I'm gonna have to continually unlock my phone to look at this, but that's okay. I'm probably gonna add some other colors to the lips, but I'll just fill them in for now. I have a feeling, I can't get the word out, but I'm actually gonna like the pink line work. And if so, I have a pink brush pen I can actually use to ink this with that I hardly ever use. Might be kind of cool, so we might try that out. Yeah, I'm trying to get like right up close to those lines just to make sure that every area that's meant to have color is colored in, but I don't want to completely cover them just so I know where to ink later on. And again, how cool would this be to kind of be inked in pink, which was like a, you know, total Bob Ross happy accident thanks to my printer, but kind of digging it already. We'll have to see how it looks with the rest of the colors though. I have a chunky gold Posca pen and I don't know what to do with it. There's a lot you could do with it. If it's one of the chunkier ones, what I would say is maybe do like a gold background on a piece, or have like a very large element in your piece. Like I'm thinking like a sun or a moon that can be filled in completely with that gold. You can kind of just color block it in. That might look kind of cool. Just an idea. Got a little sloppy on that side, that's okay. That is okay. And kind of get some juice back in this marker. It's getting a little dry. That is one of my complaints with Posca pens, and there's not many. I wish I could refill them. Also, so far, the pilling on this paper is pretty minimal. It's not zero, but compared to the Posca work that I've done in my mixed media sketchbook, which is this one, it's significantly better. So if anyone's wondering, Posca pens work pretty good on this paper. Sorry for anyone who doesn't love that noise. Okay. Step one is done. I thought about using it on my Alexa device. That would probably look really cool, honestly. That is a pretty cool idea. Okay, now I'm going in with this slightly darker color. And I am following the shadows in the reference picture pretty closely. And it seems to be like the lighting is coming from this side. See, this is like already just everything I love about Posca pens. Like this, just I love bold color blocking and love it. How are we feeling about the pink lines? How are we feeling about it? Am I crazy? Or does it look kind of cool? You guys can tell me if I'm crazy. You know, honestly, this piece is making me feel pretty good about my own and consistent light sources. Because I'm looking at this and I'm like, what is going on? Like, there's shadows all over the place. Like, it makes no sense. So it's not just me. You like the pink lines. Okay. I kind of do too. It might be really fun to keep them. And you know, I think a lot of people have done this challenge. You'd make the lashes black and leave the rest pink. Okay. I'll have to think about that. Again, I'm gonna have to like add in all the colors to really decide like if it makes sense or not. But I think it would be a really neat way for this to stand out among the thousands of other Sailor Moon redraw challenges that have been going around. So I'm open to the idea. Sorry, I keep having to like reopen my reference image. Hopefully I'm like keeping this in frame enough. Yes, pink. Okay, rest pink. Okay. Okay, that part's done. What now? Should we go with the yellow? Oops, this yellow's kind of dirty. I feel like that makes the most sense. A loose glitter background would be interesting to look at. Ooh. That's... I don't know if I have any glitter. But I am going to stick to like the reference picture that has the background as being like blue with like tile kind of thing. You know, I don't know if you have seen this picture. It looks, well, this is it basically. I'm sure you've seen it on the internet, but that's kind of what I'm going to go for. Let's start with our hair. Bun up here. And again, I'll like pull up the reference photo again for my shadows. So I feel like that's one thing I can definitely keep consistent between my piece and the original. Some of these little corners are a little tough to get into with this big old marker, but we're making do. We're getting by. These little wispies might be kind of difficult. Like hold my breath a little as I do them. Oh, sorry, Carol. Let me catch up on your messages. I was doing the chat. It's like you're drawing about Spanish. Cool. Well, when you're done with it, feel free to like DM me on Twitter or Instagram, or tag me in it so I can see it, because it's really cool that you did this challenge too, and I want to see what you did. So thank you for hanging out in this stream. I appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you in a future stream. Goodbye. Take care. Oh, thank you. I will check it out after the stream. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really liking how this is turning out so far. Oh, is it, do I not have my DMs open on Twitter? I feel like I do. I feel like I did have my DMs open. Let's see. Yeah, receive messages from everyone. That's what I have it set as, so should work. Ah! Just like almost knocked over everything on my desk. Is that her hair? Has to be. I feel like I wasn't super clear in my sketch on that, whether that was her hair or not. Oh well, we'll make it work. We'll fix it. We'll make it look convincing. Bye, Carol. I appreciate you coming. Okay, let me pull my reference. There it is. And I'm using this barely darker yellow to now shade her hair. Kind of like the skin tone, where like the difference between like that base color and that like shadow color. Hi, Ueguchi, welcome. Nice to see you in the stream. The difference between the two colors is pretty subtle, but it's like visible enough, so it'll work, you know. Get some more juice in this marker. My hands are getting messy already. I am doing well. How are you doing? How is your quarantine going? I'm like bouncing between chat and keeping my reference photo open. My quarantine hasn't changed my life much other than I need a pedicure. Honestly, same. And I don't even need a pedicure. I like never paint my toenails anymore. Yeah, quarantine is kind of just like my baseline lifestyle. I will say like the cool thing I guess has been like I've been like video chatting with friends and family more because I'm like, you know, kind of staying in touch with them virtually, but that is like I'm definitely a pretty high functioning introvert. Like I can be by myself for extended periods of time and be pretty okay. I am quarantining like with my partner though, so I think it's a little like it's different. But yeah, it's good. That moon is real tiny. It's gonna be real hard to color in. Hi Lloyd. Welcome to the stream. New person here. Welcome. We are working on some Sailor Moon art using a material called Posca pens. They're like a paint pen. They're really fun. You know, just arting around over here. Let's see. Now what do I want to color? I think I'm going to use... Ooh, that was like real sloshy. I feel like... We'll test that for... Okay, yeah, it seems okay. I wasn't so sure. This marker sounded a little suspicious at first. I'm going to color in all the like gray areas now. Which is mostly just like a little bit on the sleeves. Not a whole lot here. phone keeps locking on me. Okay. I think that's good. I don't want to do a whole lot of gray. I want to keep it like pretty light pastel, you know, that kind of thing. God, all these markers are like getting real stale, just like sitting here, it seems like. Are you planning on partaking in any monthly challenges in the near future? I'll be doing Inktober again, but that's it for me. And hi, Alyssa, welcome. I probably will do Inktober just because I love Inktober. I was mentioning, I think you were here earlier when I was talking about maybe doing like one mermaid illustration, but not really going all out. One, because it's like almost the end of May already, and I kind of missed that by a mile. But I will do Inktober, at least right now. That's my plan, unless something like catastrophic comes up. Inktober is the one that I really go ham for. I know there's like a lot of other challenges, like there's like Junicorn that happens, but I really haven't gotten into any other ones except for like sometimes Mermaid and then definitely Inktober. I'm gonna shade this just a little bit. I'm not exactly sure if I want to go with like full-on cherry red. I think I do. The other option is to go with like this orangey red, which also looks cool, but I'm feeling like cherry red. Again, I'm gonna make sure to just have my reference photo open. I'm not following this like to the T at this point, but I'm just kind of loosely making sure I'm like checking in with my reference photo every once in a while. I was burnt out when May started. Well, you could still, you know, kind of keep posting them and stuff, and you know, I think you can still probably make the most of the hashtags, like use the mermaid hashtags or like, you know, mermaid drawings, because that's going to be a really popular time to be looking at those hashtags, so use them, no shame in that. But yeah, I know what you mean, like sometimes, you know, you get inspired, but your inspiration is not in alignment with all the trends, and I feel like that's okay. You know, but you should still post it and share it, and then maybe even like repost things after you've done them when they're more relevant too. That's just like good social media strategy, I think. Okay, so I think we've got to move on to blue now, and we have a few choices when it comes to blue, because we also have to do blue in the background. I feel like we've got to do like dark blue for her collar. This is going to be a little stressful, guys, because these are some fine lines that I have to keep separated. I'm like thinking I might go over that with the lighter blue, and I might do something slightly different. And I looked at the colors again and I was like, nope, that's not what I want to do, because I want to keep everything light enough that I can outline it with pink and it'll show up. So with that in mind, this blue makes more sense. Can probably make those lines a little cleaner. I can cover the pink where the white lines are going to be, because those I don't really need to outline. And I can probably clean them up even a little more with some white gel pen. It's mostly just making sure that they're still visible and that I don't completely cover them up. I don't post anywhere besides Pinterest. I do the challenges just for self-growth. A child, she enjoys the art collection. Oh, see, that's so sweet. Yes, I love this blue. That's really sweet though. And you know, yeah, you don't have to post your art online. You know, you can keep it for yourself, or you can just post it to Pinterest. I think it's really cool that you're building, you know, an audience over there. Because honestly, I don't think enough artists are probably doing that. So it's probably a pretty good market. I think I'm gonna color this blue. I think it's white in the reference photo, but I want to color it blue in mine just because I feel like it's gonna pop a little bit more. It's can like kind of just hint at a blue line right here. Here's the thing. These marker nibs fray and are a little harder to control the older they get. It's okay, we made it. You know, I think it's really cool when people post all of their art, like throughout their art journey. Good art, bad art, doesn't matter. That's one of my mottos, is make bad art. That's the whole goal, right? Because if you're making bad art, it means you're gonna get better. That's the only way to really improve. So in my opinion, I say post it all. And welcome back, Sailor Sketches. We have the blue here too. So let's see. Again, we're gonna just try our hardest to make a very thin line right here. These lines are so scary. I feel like are Sailor Moon's eyes blue feel like in the reference they're basically just colored black. But because we're not using any black in this, I feel like blue might make the most sense. I like seeing the practice artists do leading up to the bigger projects. Yes, behind the scenes. People love seeing like the progress photos and the process behind the art. That is definitely true. Okay, let's see. Now we're gonna go in with our lighter blue and we're basically gonna like block out the background here. I want to leave this white border just because I think it'll kind of finish the piece off nicely. Hi Saito, welcome! Thanks for coming to the stream. For those that are new, I refer to Vacha as Saito because that's how he prefers to be called, and it's what I've been calling him for years at this point, so when I see him pop up, I always just say Saito, just so people aren't confused. I'm doing well. How are you doing? Honestly, I might even go over the gray areas that I colored with this blue. I feel like it would look a little more cohesive that way. I'm trying so hard to resist doing this trend, but it's getting harder by the minute. Yeah, I caved. It's just so fun. I love Sailor Moon. And it was like a good excuse for me to do traditional art and like ease back into it. I'm planning to do a really cool traditional art piece later this month. So this was like my warm-up. Basically, getting back into art is like a very slow build for me sometimes. Like I don't just dive back into it really quickly. I have to ease into it, you know? So this is me easing. Trying to give myself a buffer around these lines so that I can be just the tiniest bit messier and just go hard in this background and get it done. just kind of switch up my directions a little bit to blur out these marker streaks. They're inevitably going to be there, just kind of the nature of Posca pens. Like, they're going to have a texture to them that you're going to see, especially at certain angles of the piece. And the more you build it up, the more that you're kind of prone to pilling your paper. So I'm not going too crazy here. I'm just kind of trying to cover up those larger spots. And that looks pretty good to me. I do think I'm going to go over the grays with this color, just because I think it'll match better with the final piece. And then I'll catch up on the chat, guys. I know I'm a little behind. Then we just have like some final details and then the line work. So pretty cool. It's been so long since I made a proper illustration. It's actually sad to think about. You know, I have not illustrated nearly as much as I would have liked to this year. That is for certain, but you know, I think any amount that I did get done shows a lot. So I would say the same for you, Saito. Last one I did was the 6 fan art challenge. I did that one too. That one was fun. I actually drew Sailor Moon for that one too, funny enough. I drew her as like a pin-up, which was really fun and really cute. I would love to kind of expand to that idea a little bit more. So yeah, these challenges have actually been like really good for me. They've been a joy to make, and they've kept me doing art, which is like the whole point. So I love that. Least favorite medium. Oh, I would have to say charcoal too. I hate working in charcoal, and it's like anything that has that chalky texture is just, I hate it. I hate the way it sounds, like even thinking about the sound, ugh, freaks me out. I hate it. It's a nightmare for me, and I hate when like my hands get like dusty, because then it makes my hands feel dry, and I hate when my hands feel dry. It's not a good time. Anyone have the best size Posca pen to buy? You know, that's tough. I would say I think I have the mediums. Yeah, these are all medium, and they're nice. They're a happy medium. I would say the best size really depends on the size of artwork that you plan to do. These are great because they can kind of be the midway point between a larger pen and a smaller pen, but you are going to be limited by the amount of detail that you can really do. What I know a lot of people do is that they buy the medium size color packs, and then they might get like a smaller black Posca pen for outlining, for example. That's something I see a lot. It's definitely something that you can do if you feel like you would use it. Yeah, it's kind of open to what size of illustration you do most. All you can do is work with what you have. That's exactly right. I would love to see you draw using Andy Hartmark's photography as a reference. I've never heard of Andy Hartmark, but I will make a note of that, because that might be really cool. Let's see. I'll just jot it down in my sketchbook in this really frayed brush pen, which I don't think we're going to use. I don't think we're going to use the what is it called? Pentel pocket brush. Let me do these earrings. Ah, that is very wet paint. See, I might do this for the lips, because it's just gonna be a little bit darker, a little bit more noticeable. There aren't lips in the reference photo, but that's really not my art style, so I'm gonna add lips. Well, thank you for popping in again, Sailor Sketches. I appreciate it. I was thinking medium tip also. Lame pun. Yeah, I know. Happy medium, I know. But it is. It really is. Okay. Not sure about the blushies, but we did it. So we're sticking to it. Yeah. So I think we're just ready to ink. This is the ink pen. I don't know why I needed to shake it. I don't think it requires that, but I think this is what we're gonna use, guys. Now, I've hardly used this brush pen, which is it's brave to go in and ink an illustration after not being like super familiar with the final thing that you're using on the illustration, but I think it's gonna be okay. The point of like leaving a lot of those lines is that it's ideally going to minimize a lot of the work for me. Guys, I think this is gonna look really cool. I'm excited. Cherry Dollface is a pin-up. He likes to do photography a lot. She's one of my favorite pin-ups of all time. He does a lot of darker style imagery with bright colors. That sounds so up my alley. Like, that sounds perfect. Like, dark and creepy but cute and colorful is like my perfect aesthetic. This is getting a real juicy. I'm a little worried about it like exploding. It's a much juicier brush pen than I realized. Oh, I didn't do her eye color. I think we're gonna use this blue. And I want to be real careful, just kind of after seeing how this brush pen layers, to avoid getting it on as much pink as possible. Because you can see, like, when it dries, well, I don't know if you can really see, but like when it's drying over the Posca pen, it's like drying slightly lighter. So we're gonna work with it because I do think it looks really cool. But I want to be careful about like maybe cleaning up a few of those areas, either with like maybe a Sakura Jelly Roll pen if I have one in like a similar color. I might not. I'm making a mess with my hands. Can you see this? This is a mess. But I'm hoping just to kind of clean some of that up with white gel pen and maybe some colored gel pen as well. I also might decide that I don't like the pink lines. Who knows? I think the real teller is going to be if I like the lashes. I don't think I do. think, guys, I think we might be switching to black brush pen. After all of this. Yeah, I think we're switching to black. I just think it's gonna look cleaner, bolder, nicer. It looks like pink highlights in her hair. You guys are making me feel so torn. Oh, I don't know. And I don't want to like mix the two. I don't think it's gonna look good if I have like one part black line art, one part pink line art. Like I don't know if I can pull that off. I'm so conflicted. It's okay. I think I'm just gonna do what feels right. And I think what feels right is to do black brush pen. That is bleeding a little bit, so we're gonna let that dry a little more. Yes, we are. What's cool is that you still might see a little bit of pink here and there, but I just think the black line art, which was my original plan, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. That looks better. I might still keep some parts pink, like around the iris. I kind of like that being pink. And then we can do our highlights with white when we're all done with our inking. I love this now. Purple to break up the pink. You know, I know. I really thought if you do only the lashes in black, really? Really? You guys, I'm so conflicted. I kind of see what you're saying. I can always go darker if I start pink. You're right. Okay. Ugh. So indecisive. I just feel like there's some areas that like I'm never gonna get to look that clean. So what I might do, I might compromise with you guys. I might do the hair in pink. And maybe like some areas of the face. And then outline the outfit in black. Would that be crazy? Is that weird? Because right now she has pink eyebrows and I kind of like that. Like so far this is already very different than anything I've ever drawn and I really like that. Like I like the skin and the hair being in pink. The part where it's getting tricky, oh I don't want to smear this, is with these bluer areas. Outline the outfit in a deep dark blue. I don't have a deep dark blue. I do in like a gel pen. I guess I could try that. Okay, we can try that. Okay. Like, I guess I don't have to ink it in a brush pen is the idea. Yeah, I didn't replace the gray for right here. There we go. Fixed that. Oh, we got a little messy smudginess going on right here. Cool. Not sure when that happened. Like pop art. Yeah, I agree. I think it actually looks like really fun and interesting. I'm glad you guys stopped me before I went full force and decided to outline everything in black. So I might outline like the earrings in like a blue, maybe the tiara. That way it's like, it just stands out a little bit more. I feel like it'll also help break apart the hair from the tiara and like the earrings, like just because they're all the same color. I don't want to smudge this brush pen. Trying to be so careful. Let's see, I want that picture on a shirt or a bag. Thank you. I can see it. Ooh, on a denim jacket would look so freaking cute. I don't know. Maybe I can try it on Redbubble. I don't know what their rules are. I think they're pretty strict on fan art. You just watched my video on art styles today. Cute. Thank you for the support. I would honestly rock this on a denim jacket too. How can we make that happen? Or a pin. Oof, yeah. I would love to get into making enamel pins or like designing them, I guess, not making them per se. But I would love to do that. That was actually one of my original goals for this year. Things kind of got delayed, kind of got pushed back. But I would like to do that in the nearish future. You should. Your art would be cool as pins. Thank you. Yeah, I definitely wanted to do like a Make Bad Art pin. That was like the one I was kind of thinking would be cool as like an initial pin launch, just because that's such a meaningful phrase to me. Like I love saying it, and I live by it every day. Yeah, are not the best friends. I know, and like I know that they sometimes have certain licensing agreements, like they did with Steven Universe for a while and like Cartoon Network, but that's kind of changed, so I don't know. I would have to look into it and make sure that I'm doing it by the book, because I don't want to step on any toes with my artwork, you know. So we would just have to see. But oh, I forgot a whole side of her head. How did that happen? Okay. That's that for now. What I have to kind of figure out, I'm going to do just like a few swatches of the blues here. And then pull out my blue gel pens. I prefer the Midnight Jelly Roll formula because it'll probably be the most opaque. A belt buckle, that is what you should look into making your art into. Is that a thing? I've never heard of that. Like, I've never seen that. That would be so cool. That would be amazing. So I'm trying to find one that like a color that is definitively darker. These pens are all really dry. That's gonna be too light. This one might not be too light though. I think this might work. This, I think, is gonna almost be too dark. Yeah, it's gonna be like near black, and that's not what I want. This color scheme is really doing it for me right now. That's it, I'm busting out my inks. We got him. We got him. He's doing the challenge now. Yes. All right, I think we have our other inking color, which is great. It's gonna take a while because the rest of these lines are really thick. And I've got to layer the jelly roll a little bit, so I think that'll work, guys. That was a good suggestion, whoever suggested inking it in blue. This I can have a lot of control with, which is great. I've just got to make sure that I'm not smudging anything, because this is going to need some time to dry too. My patience. Also, what highlighter are you using? Oh, yes, it is. I can go grab it. It is ColourPop's Super Shock Cheek in Flexitarian. It's stunning. It's like such a beautiful highlight. It doesn't look like much, Except that, like, I barely touched it. Like, I barely touched my finger in there. And it just is so pretty. I use it as an eyeshadow. I use it as a highlight. I use it for everything. It's really pretty. So yeah, thanks for noticing. Yes, love this highlight. Okay. Brief intermission. Let's see. I'm also imagining that the gel pen is going to kind of get clogged with the Posca pen. So I might have to like pause and clean it every couple minutes. Okay, that's looking good. Missed a little part. Oh, yes! Tamara, thank you so much for suggesting blue, because that was the best idea that I wouldn't have thought of, honestly. So, you saved the day. You saved the stream. But I will at the end of the week. Yes, it is so pretty. And you can like build it up to look crazy, or you can like really sheer it out. The other one that I love, if you're not into like a super strong highlight, is Lunch Money. Lunch Money is a really good one. Also ColourPop, also Super Shock Cheek product. That's a really good one. Okay. So I'm trying not to outline too much. Like I really just want to outline the collar and a few of the key details. But for the most part, I really do love the pink lines. I just didn't love them everywhere. So just a few places need some more definition. And also there's like those tiles in the background, so I've got to kind of figure out how to do those. I might do that with white gel pen instead, just because I feel like it'll keep the focus where the focus needs to be. And that is on Sailor Moon. I keep finding like areas that I missed with the brush pen. Is that weird? I'm like, how did my eyes not see this? Forgive me for silently watching, but this drawing is looking so amazed. Thank you! What is my favorite concealer? Ooh, another good question. The one by ColourPop is also really good. What is it called? All my makeup stuff's like right behind me, so I'm just gonna grab it and look. The ColourPop No Filtered Concealer looks like this. I am in like the whitest shade possible, but it's a really good one. Another one that I really like is this one. This is by Wet n Wild. I'm not sure if this is available everywhere, but this is really inexpensive concealer, and it's their, what is it, Photo Focus concealer, also in like the whitest shade possible. So those are some of my favorites that I love. They're really good. Both are really inexpensive, especially the Wet n Wild one. I think it's like $4 or $5. But ColourPop's great too. The ColourPop one is the one I used today, if that's helpful at all. See, I'm gonna outline the heart. Ugh, my contacts like get blurry when I go from like focusing on something really small to like looking at something really big. My eyes are like, blah. And I'm like, whoa. It takes a second for everything to get settled back into place. And I can see again. See, sorry, my head's probably gonna be in the way because I have to like very closely look at what's going on. I also like, I'm gonna use this gel pen color to just get in there on some of those tiny, tiny, tiny corners that I missed with the Posca pen. I don't want to get carried away with it because it's a slightly different color, but it is nice because it's a much finer tip, so I can control it really, really well. And I can just get in there and like clean up those edges that I missed, so that's great. I honestly haven't used my jelly rolls in such a long time. It's crazy. I'm always looking for new concealers to try too, because I like them to do their job while not being too noticeable as I'm wearing makeup. So yeah, so both of those concealers that I mentioned are the concealers I've been wearing most because I haven't been wearing like all over foundation on my face. I've really just been wearing concealer. And those I find are not like so full coverage that you can see where the concealer ends and my skin starts. So that's why I really like them. I think they're both really good for like natural makeup days or like no makeup looks, you know what I mean? So they're good. I recommend them. It has been centuries, you guys. It's been so long. It's always a good throwback to have you guys in the live streams though. I love it. I'm hoping that this kind of dries into a little bit of a less noticeable transition. Otherwise, I might have to like color the whole thing. See what that looks like. Because it's really inky. This gel pen is like so inky. I have no idea why. Because it's almost like transparent too, or translucent. Oh well, that looks fine. And just kind of add it onto these stripes where it's not really going to matter if they look slightly darker, because they're going to kind of be, they're kind of in shadow anyway. And it'll at least look like it's one flat color, which is what I want. Honestly, jelly rolls and Poscas, not a bad combo. After this experience, I would probably use them together again. In fact, so not dry yet. So not dry yet. That's okay. Okay, I'm just gonna color in this area, and that's it. Well, for that part. It kind of tends to happen. It sucks, but it's how it is. Also, my computer just reset itself to French, and I got so bamboozled. Oh, random. God, my hands are so messy, you guys. How did this happen? I'm just so impatient, that's how. Okay. I'm like very wary of putting my hand right into that big whole section of wet gel pen. So we're gonna keep going this way, even though it is less comfortable for my wrists. Because like waiting for it to dry is 100% not a possibility. And that is good practice. Refresh your French a little bit, brush up on it. Oh, I can feel a hand cramp coming on. Just a baby one. Guys, this piece came out really cool. Oh, I was gonna do the tiara. That was the last part. This is so random, but I really like to use French insults and then say, oh, sorry, pardon my French. I would laugh. That's really funny. Oh, wait, is this the wrong blue? Yeah, that is. That is the wrong blue. How did that happen? What? Although now it seems to be inking wonderfully. Yeah, that ink is still so wet. That gel pen, I don't know if you can see that. That's going to take a while to dry. It's really motivating me to work. I'm glad. That's the whole point of live streams, right? Is to like get motivated unexpectedly. The other thing I was going to do. I was going to detail the eyes just a little bit with the gel pen. And then once that dries, we'll probably go in with our white gel pen. I might, so conflicted. I think I'm gonna go ahead and like color the rest of her collar with this gel pen, because one, I'm gonna have to wait for it to dry anyway, and two, it's just gonna allow me to clean up those lines just enough that I think it's actually gonna look like a lot better. So we are going forward with that plan. Unexpected, but it is basically like the perfect color. It's just a hair lighter than that original Posca pen, so I think it works out nicely. And then we're gonna add all our fun white highlights, which I'm excited about. So I can still go in and clean up some of the white lines, but this will help make sure that they're all like the same width, more or less, you know. I think I'm gonna go ahead and sign my name with this color too. Now a few other things. I'm gonna outline this with pink, and I'm gonna hold my breath for this. Don't mind me, but I'm gonna ink the moon in pink also. That went relatively well. I'm gonna pull out the big guns for this. We're using the size 10 Sakura Jelly Roll. We're gonna get our reference back up here, which we haven't checked in with in a while. So my sister has reached a new stage of paranoia, and she did something really smart. She's adding bleach to her wet wipe packs and goes ham when cleaning. They smell like hospital, so you know it works. Life hacks. Dang. We haven't really been able to find like bleach in any of our stores. Like that's been one thing that's kind of been sold out for a while. A lot of the cleaning stuff is like still totally missing. Yeah, which I mean is fine. Like we have what we need. And it's not like we were desperately seeking, you know, house cleaners to like ingest or, you know, do anything crazy with. But we were just like needing some basic house cleaner, and it's all gone right now. It's crazy. Okay. We're gonna do our little eye shinies. Might have to layer those up a little bit. Looks like there's a little bit of blue kind of mixed in there. We're gonna add some like onto the face as well. Because in the reference picture, she has like little sweat marks almost. And do a big shiny on like her bun thing. Times are crazy, but it's all the small things that just crack me up. Like these Omega nuclear germ killer wet wipes. Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about germs with your sister on full attack mode. Okay, so again, I'm like using the white gel pen now to just clean up some areas that got a little messy. Not gonna sweat it too much, just like a little bit of a cleanup, you know? The gel pen got like real goopy and laid down like super thick. I've never seen that happen with like any of my gel pens, even the Moonlight jelly rolls, which are like supposed to do that, but this is like extreme. Again, that gel pen is very much still kind of drying, so it's gonna take a while. But I think we can kind of get most of what we need done by just working around it. I don't know, guys, I feel like we're basically done. The last thing I kind of want to do is just go around the border here with my white Posca just to like clean it up a little. Just on like a few of those areas that got a little messy. That's mainly it, this little spot up here. Guys, I think we're oh, no, we're not done. False alarm, false alarm. The highlights pull the piece together. Thank you. I need to do those like little tile lines in the background. They're very like subtle. They're not, you know, anything crazy. It's just they're like, let's see. Can't put a ruler down because this is still wet. We're going for it. We'll just kind of eyeball this. Not a professional, just winging it. I don't think that'll, yeah, that won't go through the other side. And just kind of do a line like right here. Yeah, that's basically the finishing touch. We can do like a few little speckles in the background maybe, just to kind of like give it a more textured and ethereal look. Oh no, my little heart and my name got smudged. That gel pen takes a ridiculous amount of time to dry, let me tell you what. Guys, this is so fun. I'm so happy I did this. I can't wait to post it. Bam! Now we're done, officially. Walking away. Nothing else I can do. Guys, I'm so proud of us. We did this. This was our collective effort. Thank you so much, Tamara, for suggesting the blue pen. I feel like that saved the day. And yeah. Should I photograph this for Instagram? I feel like I should. I'll kind of show you guys how I stage my Instagram photos. I feel very much like we have to do some primary colors in the photo. Something like that. The background of Sailor Moon lo-fi remixes. That is such an honor. Thank you, Shell. I'm so glad you guys like it. Okay. Let's take our Instagram picture without smudging everything because it's still kind of wet, but we can't wait because we're very impatient. Do I have... I should have it somewhere here. Where would I have put star confetti? Yes. Just to, you know, make things look extra cute. Photo time. I'm gonna take it like this. Sorry, that's all you're gonna see on the screen. I can crop it later We can also kind of check to make sure it's going to look cute. Oh, actually, the square already looks pretty good. And we can maybe take some of this. A little bit of an angle. And then I want one that is like very, very much just the drawing, so we can do a nice side by side. So let me clean this up. Well, that basically sums up the stream, guys. That's all I really had for today. I hope it was enjoyable. I had fun. Let's see, can I just like scoop these back in here? Is that gonna make a mess? Yes, it is. It is gonna make a mess. I'm gonna be finding like star confetti for days. Okay. Now let's just take one that's very much just the image. Okay. So, again, thanks for coming to the stream, guys. It's always fun hanging out with you. Thank you. This is great. So I'm gonna post this. Maybe I'll post this today. Maybe I'll just post it like right now because I feel impulsive and like, you know, I want to show it to the world. I'm so proud of what we did. It was a pleasure talking to you also. It was a pleasure talking to all of you. It always is. And I hope to do it again soon. So I will let you go. Thanks again for coming. And I'll see you on the internet somewhere at some point in time. Likely very soon. All right, bye guys.